Stay my beautiful collective. Today I'm doing a couple of readings, but I'm going to start with this reading, and then my next reading will be in another video. And the reason I'm doing these today is because it's the 1111 portal, and I wanted to put some more videos on my YouTube channel because I've been working a lot and I have a lot of projects going, and I really haven't had the chance to do so. So, as my gift to you today for the 1111 portal, because I love you all, doing this, which is the Russian Gypsy Fortune deck. And then I'm going to do another reading if you want to see that later on. I'll be uploading probably a little bit later this afternoon. And it's early afternoon now, so I should have these uploaded by the end of the day. But I wanted to start off with this one, and this one is really interesting because when I do the Russian Gypsy Fortune reading, I probably do it every couple of months for myself. And typically, with that reading, you usually only get about 2 or 3 positions. But I feel like because I'm offering this as a gift to everybody, there's a lot of information in here. There must be 5 or 6 different combinations here that we need to go over. So when you do the Russian Gypsy Fortune readings, if you look at these, they're all little squares. There's 4 different placements in a square, 4 different pictures. And depending on how they're placed, they have to match. Depending on how they're placed, they give you your fortune. So the first one, and I just read the book just to confirm too as well. I just read the meanings in the book. So the first one we have is the demons. And when I see this, I always get nervous. But this is something that's going to be coming to light about another person, is what I get. I'm going to go back and look at it really quick. The way they explained it, it was pretty interesting. It's really interesting, just this whole reading. So the thing about this is, not only do I feel that, but don't listen to negative thoughts that you might be getting. You know, some of us tend to overthink, especially if we have any empathic or psychic tendencies. We have the ability to read the room, to read people, and sometimes that can get very, very stressful. We take on energy that doesn't belong to us sometimes, and it can cause a lot of stress, overthinking, and actually, health problems, whether physical or mental health. So you have to really be careful. So what the cards are saying is, like, if you're in a slump right now, don't listen to your thoughts. But yes, there are other people around you. You always have to be very discerning in who you give and receive energy from. This can be anybody that you deal with on a regular basis. Even going, say, to the grocery store. When I went to the grocery store yesterday, I do my shopping on the weekends. And, I notice, like, I catch myself because I always try to remain neutral. But you can get very stressed out just from, maybe being stuck on an aisle or having to wait in a long line or somebody cuts you off. It's pretty ridiculous when it comes down to a grocery store, but you can take on the energies, or maybe it happened to somebody else in there and they're just pissed off. So, they might give you a dirty look, but it has nothing to do with you. It's one of those things. So you have to be very discerning right now and very mindful about what you're thinking. If it seems to be negative all the time, then that's a problem. You might want to meditate. You might want to seek alternative therapies for that if you can't get out of it yourself. If you think you can get out of it yourself, then, try to stop thinking those thoughts. Any negative thought, think a positive one. If you think the worst in a situation, you're going to manifest that into yourself. So we got to be careful about those things. And then the next one is the apple, and that is also upright. And I'm going to go with the book here because I haven't read them in a while. But I know the apple was also positive. A pleasant happening. This could be a party, a luncheon, or even just having coffee with people who make you feel comfortable and happy. If you have been in the doldrums, which I think you were, I feel like that's kind of past energy, then you should do some activity that gives you pleasure. Go to the movies, to a football game, to a play or a concert. In the same way that people enjoy eating an apple, do something sensuous to make you happy. And maybe you have to do something sensuous too. Who knows? I'm just reading them as they are. So when we get to this, do you see how there's a sun here and a sun here? So now, because there's two specific things on one card, you flip the sun over, and then it gives you another aspect of your reading here. So 31, the sun. And it's going in this direction. If you look at the little arrow here, I don't know if you can see it. I can probably zoom in so you can kind of see the arrows. And then we'll zoom out a little bit. So a lack of courage hinders you from obtaining your wish. Just the acknowledgement of the fact can put a person at ease. Look at your life and note where you are stagnant. What do you want but lack the courage to get? This picture can refer to major things like getting a raise at work, or to minor things like asking your neighbor not to cut the grass on Sunday morning. Once you have isolated what you want, then you can begin to work on the problem. If you really want it, then you should pursue it when this picture comes up. This is the sun picture telling you that you have the capability to obtain what you desire. If you lack the courage to personally ask or seek what you want, you can look for alternate ways of achieving it. If you're afraid to ask directly, perhaps you can write a letter or think or imaginative way of presenting your case. Think of an imaginative way of presenting your case. You can also ask other people to help you. They can do the courageous act while you repay them in other ways. So what it's basically saying is not to lack the courage to get something that you really want in life. And we also here, because we were reading the apple card first, so I think that's why we were over here. We have the house, and the house is going to the right. The arrow is going to the right. The right step will bring you success. So this has to do with something that you want to be successful at. This has to do with something that you want desperately. And I feel like maybe you've let negative thoughts creep in. So let's take a look at this position. Position 2, the right step will bring you success. This is like the Oracle of Delphi. Speaking in riddles, how do you know what the right step is? This is a time to examine your options carefully and go with the one that seems correct to you. The answer is within you. You only need to learn to focus on the problem and listen to your own instincts for this answer. Usually the instinct only comes once, and then our rational mind takes over and begins to rationalize or place the learned, acceptable values on the situation. When the picture comes up for you in this position, go forth with your unique ideas, no matter how far out they may seem to the average observer. Remember that every new idea was first met with a suspicion and opposition. So what this is telling me is, even if it seems outlandish or wacky or crazy, go with what you believe to be true. And don't let your rational mind or negative thoughts or anything of that situation creep in and hinder you from getting what you want. So, really cool cards, and it looks like you're really working on getting something that you want desperately. Desperately. And then we have one more, and it's down here. I don't know if you can see it. And it's the owl. Owl number 34. Let's take a look. 34. Oh, you almost opened up to the correct place. And it says your cunning schemes will be exposed. So if you have any cunning schemes or whatever, it shows it right here. You may only need to worry if you have been doing what you've been doing is underhanded or illegal. Most of us do plan projects that we're afraid to talk about because people might laugh at us or talk us out of plans. These plans need to be kept personal until the right time. The owl, the picture can refer to these plans, telling you that it's time to make public your plan. The picture indicates that there is some element of cunning to your plans. Are you doing something that is underhanded? Are you doing something that might hurt somebody else or simply something to protect yourself? Sometimes at work, these people who are self-centered that you have to deal with, unless we look after our own interests, we are left with all the unwanted chores and jobs. Since this picture tells that your slyness will be exposed, make sure that you do not appear in a bad light. As long as you haven't done anything intentionally to hurt anyone else, you don't need to be overly apologetic or act guilty. Sometimes by exposing the scheme yourself, you can take the sting out of it. Just remember that everything you do can come to light, so make sure you're honest in all your covert actions. So, maybe that there's something at work. Maybe there is somebody that dumps all the jobs on you, and you've been either taking your time with them or not doing them, but you have to. What this card to me is trying to explain or describe is, as long as you're not doing anything wrong, you might have to be mindful and kind of also be your own champion. So if somebody isn't treating you right, instead of mistreating them back, be your own champion, pull yourself out of the situation, and expose the situation in a nice way. And sometimes if you call somebody out in a nice way, without, creating drama or whatever, and this could be in any area of your life, it's better to do it that way because you have some beautiful plans that you want to come forward with. And I feel like maybe this and this is connected where, someone's been kind of oppressing you in some way. And you've been thinking negative of it. Be your own champion. And this goes with everything. And we're in a place now that, we have Pluto going into Aquarius, the age of Aquarius basically, in the next couple of weeks. We're at the critical degree, 29 degrees of Capricorn. I'm sorry about my dog. Stop, please. There's nobody here. It's the wind. So, and he's agreeing with me also in this. But you need to know that things are going to change and they're going to shift from this oppressive energy that we've all been dealing with for the past 16 years in one way or another, depending on where Pluto lies in our chart and what planetary aspects we have with Pluto during this transit. And also the outside world. So there's going to be a lot of things that come up, a lot of exposure. And maybe that's what this is saying. You're going to kind of expose something. But, the thing about exposing something is if you do it in the wrong light, it can turn around on you and then you end up being victimized because of it. So you have to be very careful, um, and very diplomatic with anything right now, and that's the vibe I'm getting. And just hold on, think positive thoughts, and I feel like over the next few weeks, your plans are going to come to fruition, whatever they are. But you have to think positively, and don't do anything underhanded to try to get this plan. Don't be too competitive. If somebody is trying to drag you down, you call out the situation in a nice way, and you're going to get through it, whatever it is. This could be in any area of your life. This is just a general reading for, whoever comes to my channel. So take it how it resonates. And I hope you enjoyed this reading. Like I said, I'll be doing another reading with just regular tarot and some oracle cards. So look for those as well. I hope you enjoyed this. Sending love and blessings to you all. Namaste.